Okay, so what a rough couple of days it's been. I first contracted some sort of flu a week or so ago, which somewhat took me out of the game for a week, and then shortly after I contracted some sort of neuro or rotavirus, some sort of stomach bug. So I'm down 2.5 kilos. I'm feeling pretty damn weak. I haven't eaten properly in about 2 to 3, maybe even 4 days at most. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the store. We're going to collect some bits that I believe are really good foods that will help you bulk back up after being sick. Because I'm telling you now, that 2.5 kilos is now floating in the ocean. Do excuse the wet hair, I promise you it's not greasy. I've just got out of the bath and I can't actually see out my window. Brilliant. Let me pull out the squidgy widgy window wiper. That is wet. That is moist. Ugh. Just sitting here, I am extremely hungry because I haven't eaten properly for days. Oh, brilliant. Why you got to park on my arse like that? Oh, that was a hunger burp. It's been incredibly rough. And all I've been thinking about whilst I've been feeling sorry for myself is the itch to get back to the gym and the worry of how much weight this illness is going to make me lose. I still don't feel 100%. So I am still debating on whether or not I go to the gym today. But if I do feel somewhat reasonable later, I'll be training some legs and bench press. It's very difficult looking out of a fucking pinhole in my window. I can barely see the light. There we go. That should be alright. Now I'm even going to cut to when I have my groceries in my kitchen, or I'm going to cut back into the car and explain to you guys what I have. Okay, so a quick update from the last clip. It's been a couple of days. I was supposed to go to the gym that day, but I just wasn't feeling anywhere near how I should have felt if I wanted to go to the gym and get a optimal workout. So, a quick recap. Obviously, I was going to go over my shopping, so I'll quickly go over a few of the items that I had purchased. Items that I believe help recovery. I bought avocados, hazelnuts, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, so a bunch of berries. Berries have a large amount of antioxidants in them, so that helps obviously boost your immune system, or should I say, helps your immune system's ability to fight against nasty little bastards like the neurovirus, which is what I had. Avocados, very high in fats, lots of calories, very dense food, not everyone's cup of tea, not great for the environment, but it's something that I consume when I'm ill to get me back up to weight. The majority of the weight that I have lost, which is about 3 and a bit kilos now, that seems to be on the rise again, is water. Where obviously I was flooding the ocean full of my bodily fluids, I was losing tons and tons of water. For every 1 litre of water that I was putting into my body, about 2 or 3 were coming out, so it wasn't very pleasant. I felt incredibly dehydrated, and luckily I was given these by my brother. Now, I don't know if that's going to be backwards or not, but it's an electrolyte formula which contains calcium, magnesium, potassium, chloride and sodium. I throw 2 of those down my neck before my workout, followed by micronized creatine and clear whey protein, which is 20 grams of apparently high quality protein per serving. So yeah, I've been taking that for the last 2 days. I've gone completely off track. Other things I bought in my shopping list was salmon and chicken, two very lean, high quality protein. You know, maybe not as high quality as this, but this is an advertisement, by the way. I'm not sponsored by Optimal Nutrition. I just bought those from Tesco's, and yeah, my brain is a bit scrambled. But talking about scrambled, I also bought large eggs because, again, just like salmon and chicken, it's also a high quality protein. Basically, what I'm trying to get to is that after my lack of nutrition, loss of many bodily fluids, I needed to get some high quality food in me, some high quality sources of protein in me. So the chicken, salmon, and eggs are three very good sources. A few other things I bought was a wide variety of nuts, hazelnuts, almonds, cashews, balsam. They all contain a large amount of healthy fats. Again, just like avocados, very caloric, very good to bump those calories up in my diet. My appetite is still not 100%. I still can't consume an entire KFC boneless banquet without feeling a little bit nauseous. So all those foods that I have mentioned, plus a few others like high protein yogurts and pastas, yeah, seems to be doing the job so far. I just need to keep the flow going when it comes to the calories, and hopefully we'll get back to where I was in terms of my weight. And as for strength, I guess we'll just cut straight to it and find out. Starting off with high barbell back squats, working up to a single at RPE 5 to 6. Whilst I show you the process of working up to that single, I'll answer some questions. What's my split or workout plan? I follow SSTT's or Strength Studio TT's 10-week power building program. I'm now on volume 3. I have run volume 1, I have run volume 2. I, so far, have preferred volume 2, but I can't quite say that just yet because I am only 2 weeks into volume 3. So I don't follow any program for anything specific aside for power building, which to me isn't exactly specific. It's kind of the best of both worlds, a good mix between focusing on the compound lifts and also focusing on hypertrophy as well.
It's resurrection time, baby.
Okay, so we are back after a week of being ill. I'm sure I've already gone over that in the intro, and I'll emphasise again. It was pretty damn shit, that illness. I'm going to assume it was the Nova virus. Like I also said, half of my stomach is floating in the ocean, along with around 3 to 4 kilos of weight that I wish I could take back, swallow, and regain. But unfortunately, I can't do that because, for one, that would be rather disgusting, and for two, it would probably kill me. Anyway, 3 sets of pause squats with 180 kilos. I'm going to leave it at that. I could go heavier. The third rep was weirdly better than the first and second, so I'm going to assume the third rep was the most optimal, so I will leave it at the most optimal rep. I'm going to drop down to 3 plates, do that for 7 pause reps, and then probably drop down a little bit further and finish up with a couple of sets at 7 reps. I think it would be a bad idea to push this session further than it needs to go.
What I mean by that, I'm not trying to be a pussy, but you've got to listen to your body, and my body is saying, you're dehydrated as fuck, my boy. Instead of doing a few more sets of this, I'm going to move on to the next exercise.
Okay, so moving on to some barbell bench presses. I worked up to a single at RPE 6, although I'm pretty sure it felt a bit more like RPE 5. Considering the amount of weight that I have lost and the lack of nutrition and hydration that I've just experienced, it went fairly well. One thing I've noticed throughout this entire workout is joint pain. Now, I feel stiff and slightly sore, which is most definitely due to the dehydration. So over the next few days, I'm going to make it my goal to completely and utterly rehydrate myself. There's nothing really more to be said about the bench press session. I could have went heavier, but I chose not to. I could have done some back down sets, but I chose not to, simply because I want to be able to recover properly, so that way when it comes to the next session, I can start putting on the weight again. Am I natural? Yes and no. I say that because 10 years ago, I took anabolic steroids. I took 2 cycles of anabolic steroids. I'm not going to get into the details of what anabolic steroids I took, simply because I don't want to encourage people to take anabolic steroids. There is a good reason why I've been 10 years free of them. I personally don't recommend anabolic steroids because of the toll it takes on your health, both mentally and physically. So, if being 10 years free of anabolic steroids and only taking 2 cycles makes me natty, then I guess I am natty. Do I class myself as natty? I don't really know, to be honest. I don't have a clue. All I know is that it's been a hell of a long time, literally a decade since I took anabolic steroids. So I'd like to believe that everything has returned back to normal, and that the amount of effort I have put in over the last, to answer another question, 6 years of training has been off of my own back without the use of anything that can enhance me aside things like creatine and protein powders. Bro's got the anabolic lisp. Yes, I've got the anabolic lisps. Unfortunately, the lisp isn't as anabolic as I'd like it to be.
I forgot what that felt like, and it feels pretty awful, in a good way. That felt even worse. Oh, my booty. Oh mate, this is not going to be nice. Oh. I've just made a terrible discovery. One dumbbell is 18 kilos, the other is 20. What a terrible discovery. I've lowered the weight in hope that I don't cramp up. Oh God. Oh my God. As you can imagine, that was even worse than the third set. That's a wrap for Bulgarian split squats. Now on to some RDLs. My booty, along with the inner part of my thigh, is absolutely destroyed right now. I think if I did one more set of Bulgarian split squats, I would have been split in half. Which is why I've moved on to RDLs now. Dumbbell RDLs, not barbell RDLs. Barbell RDLs is on my first leg day. Dumbbell RDLs, second leg day. Why Bulgarian split squats? One, because they absolutely suck. 2, because any exercise that sucks usually sucks because it's effective and, most importantly, optimal. And 3, it's a fantastic exercise to build balance and mobility in areas such as your ankles and your hips. It also strengthens the tendons in your knees, and being someone who squats twice a week, I'd benefit quite a bit from working on developing my tendons. Let's try to pick up these dumbbells and do 3 sets of 7 with them. It's not even tomorrow and my legs are already sore. Oh Jesus, I'm cramping up like a bitch. That's probably due to the dehydration. I'm actually debating on skipping RDLs tonight and going straight onto leg extensions, just so I can give my hammies a moment to breathe, and then finishing off with some hamstring curls or something hamstring related. I'm going to give myself a minute, attempt to pick these dumbbells up. If I continue to cramp, then we'll cut straight to leg extensions. I am a true soldier for enduring this pain. Okay. I feel like a prisoner who's just dropped the soap in the shower at peak shower time. Soap time it is. You see, hamstrings has always been a weak point of mine. Legs in general, to be honest. I've always prospered in terms of upper body, but even though I hit legs arguably harder than my upper body, they still don't develop nearly as much as my upper body. And my quads, compared to my hamstrings, is like day and night. For some reason, and I'm going to assume poor genetics, or maybe not enough volume, which I very much doubt, my hamstrings just don't want to grow. Which is why I've somewhat tortured myself today. So yeah, let's move on to leg extensions before I fall asleep or end up with a dick in my arse. Moving on to the last exercise of the day, leg extensions. I'm going to do 3 sets of 10 to 15 with whatever weight I decide to choose. It will be at RPE 7, so there will be 3 in the tank. If it looks like I could get more, I definitely can, which is the point. I've neglected leg extensions for a while now, which is probably why I've had a few niggles in my knee. I seem to have forgotten that leg extensions is one of the main reasons that my knee pain dissipated. I don't know if that's the correct word, but dissipated. Since doing leg extensions, the pain in my tendons, of which I tore a long time ago, running into a wall at full pelt, which isn't exactly the most glamorous of ways of tearing your quads. Yeah, I've had pain and popping since then. These exercises, such as leg extensions and Bulgarian split squats, as well as walking lunges, have all done me in favour. So I've decided, even though it's not in my program, to add leg extensions again. I'm hoping that it provides me with the same benefit it has been providing me for a very long time. Let's just get straight to it. Okay, that's a bit too, not enough ROM. That's better. 2 more sets of that. That was perfect, and that's a wrap for the session. I've already performed my last. No, I haven't. This is my last set. I've already performed my second set. This is my last set. After this set, there's going to be many more sets in the future, but for today, this present moment, it will be the last. There's something in my eye. Oh God. I am fatigued. Oh dear. Battery low. Okay, that's it. That's done. I'm done. Every part of me is done. I need to hydrate. I need to refuel. And I will see you in the next video.